The title is right. No lying, no clickbait. I did it. I won a tournament, finally. Now, let me tell you about it. Going into it, I was seeded first, which I am not used to for events this stacked, so it was definitely a weird one to get into mentally. My first match in pools was against Mangachu, the Overwatch legend. After that, I played the winner of Joey Bats and Travi, a Ness versus Ice Climbers match, which is strange. Travi ended up winning that, so we played, and I won it pretty solidly. He tried to clip me at the end of the set, but he messed up, thank fuck. I made it out of pools, with my first bracket match being Liquid. Now, Liquid historically is one of the few players in Ontario who gives me a lot of trouble. Fortunately, all the Zane practices paid off, and I played great. I ended up winning 3-0. To make it to winter semis, I had to play Eric, who is also coincidentally one of the Ontario players who gives me the most trouble. We've had some pretty close sets in the past, and he was just coming off of his first set win on Faust in a while, so I was shaking a little bit going into it. Game 1 was a close last stock game, but I stayed composed and won it.
Yoshi. But Moky barely.
Eric is great on FD, and I feel like he actually typically beats me there in our sets, but not today. I was just playing fucking good. I may have hit a couple clips here and there, you know.
All the time.
Oh my god. This is nuts, dude. This like mid% punish from Moky is so good. The shine, and you finish it.
Game 3 was on Battlefield, and I was able to keep up my good play and win that really cleanly as well. Shoutouts to Eric though. He ended up actually having a pretty killer run. He beat Zanya, who beat none. He also beat Faust in Midnight Blue to place 5th, which is, you know, pretty solid run. Now comes winter semis versus Aklo, and honestly, I think we both played bad. There was just a lot of weird slop on both ends. Getting hit by up Bs, getting reversaled on very easy tech chases, and just some really awkward tech flubs all around. I want to close game 1 on Fountain of Dreams, clutching it up on the final stock.
I think he was like, managed to like...
He goes back thinking he can just outplay me on the same stage, and unfortunately, he was right. He kind of messed me up this game, though I did start to bring it back near the end, and just fail.
We're going back to ledge.
No, Aklo's too composed.
I went to Pokemon Stadium next, and again, we had a very close game. I'd take a stock, then he would soon after, but I would always have the lead. Last stock, I went for a ballsy grab and took it all the way, converting it to a kill.
Crazy full in and like catches him with the grab and gets all of this.
You're dead.
Nice.
Game 4 on Battlefield was the same. I had the lead the whole time until the second last stock. I went for a super risky offstage shine, and it turned the tides, and I ended up dying really early twice.
Sometimes you gotta go with your gut, right?
Yeah, I feel like the play was fine. He just missed. So
this is looking pretty bad. I don't know.
Aklo takes game 4.
He barely didn't land either.
Now here we are at game 5, and I had no idea what level to go to. I ended up picking Dreamland because it was big and felt overall pretty neutral, and I felt that I needed to find a little bit of footing. Though in hindsight, I don't really think this stage was the play. He was playing very evasive, and it was frustrating as hell. I felt like I was always just trying to find ways to hit him. He was side B edge canceling away on the platforms to get away, and it just always felt like I was on the chase. I brought it back near the end and actually had the dub secured, but I missed an easy Armada shine, which he followed up on and killed me for. So I lost game 5 last stock. And I was mad. Like, extremely fucking mad. When I lose in winners of a tournament, the way I handle it is to typically find one of my friends, say heinous mean shit to them about the person who beat me, and then say, okay, fuck this. I'm fucking better than this. I'm gonna make this run. First up in losers, I had Zuppy, who beat me recently at Collision. It was definitely a tough draw for my first match, but I was determined. Out of the gates, game 1, I came in dick swinging. I kept the pressure on and the speed up. I hit really hard and won game 1 extremely cleanly.
Love that back air stuff that Moky does. That should be game. Yeah.
Game 2 was a lot closer. I think Zuppy found his footing a lot more, but I was able to keep the pace the way I wanted it, and I was always the tiniest bit ahead the whole time.
Guide that in a very awkward
Game
manner.
3 on Battlefield again. I started off with 2 really quick stocks to take a massive lead. Zuppy started to pull back into it a bit, but unfortunately side B'd off the stage and SD'd last stock, which we take, baby. Next up is Hack's money for 4th place, and needless to say, I was still pretty fucking pissed. The meme is that New York players only go to Battlefield, and Hacks is kind of the dude who spearheaded that meme, so I banned Battlefield and we stage strike to Pokemon Stadium. Going into this set, I know Hacks is obviously cracked tech skill wise, and I wanted to make sure I played calm and took my time. An issue I feel I have often is that if my opponent is playing fast, I feel the need to play fast as well and match their speed, but that's not always really needed. I took my time getting openings, and I was willing to laser and dash dance a lot. It was a pretty close game, but I pulled away near the end of it to take it.
No aMSa. Interesting.
Trolling.
Okay.
Game 2 is on Battlefield, of course. I don't think much needs to be said about this game, other than I played hot as hell. I was in the driver's seat fucking swerving and ended up 4 stocks to 1 at one point. It was a good game dub. Game 3, as you guessed it, on Battlefield yet again. I controlled the pace a lot and made every hit I got count. Specifically, the second stock and the last stock of this game show kind of the vibe I was playing with.
Reddit.
Custom!
Oh, no. Uh-oh.
Oh! Hey!
Oh!
And now the Aklo runback. What I have wanted this whole time. And boy, was I almost seething after this tournament. Game 1 was not close at all. I got messed up. It was frustrating. I couldn't really get any clean hits. I couldn't get anything started. I died at like 5% at the start of the game, and it felt like I was on the chase a lot of the time again. After the game, you can see me throwing a little bit of a tantrum in the cam because it felt like I was both throwing super hard and also just dying in the most frustrating ways. Game 2 was pretty back and forth, and the momentum kept swinging, but near the end, I pulled ahead an entire stock. I just needed to milk the lead I had and take this game. But then catastrophe struck. He brought it down to last stock. I choked an easy edge guard, and he made it back and cheesed me at 0% once again with a
He missed the
gift.
grab. Oh, this is so bad.
You can see me in the player cam just absolutely fucking fuming. And I think to myself, okay, I made it obvious that I'm mad. He's going to try to play more into that and try to make me even more mad, so I need to do something about that. Game 3 starts off and he SDs at like 0%, and I decide to be toxic and taunt him for it. In my head, I was like, okay, I'm done with this. We are in my hometown. I'm gonna start acting like a dick, and the crowd is gonna be all for it. Have fun dealing with that. In that game, I smoke him. Game 4 on Dreamland was a nail biter. He takes the first stock, then I even it up, then I take the lead, then he evens it up, and he takes the lead. It ends up last stock completely even. He gets a knockdown on me into a successful tech chase, gets a bunch of percent, but ultimately drops the combo.
Hitting his tech chases.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Fox is so
I
good.
get a knockdown, go for a cheesy kill, mess up. We both go back and forth with some stray hits until eventually one of my stray hits leads to a kill, and I clutch it out, and even pop off before the game is done, which could have ended embarrassingly bad, but thank God it didn't. Now it's game 5, and I'm on the verge of a reverse 3-0, and the crowd is going ballistic. I just tell myself going into this game, no need to chase, Aklo can come to me. The game starts. I get a kind of stupid shine, and I take it to the bank, play a nice stock, get a massive lead. Next stock, I get a stupid fucking shine too. Let's go. And it leads to a kill. I'm up 4 stocks to 2, game 5. Aklo starts mounting, a baby comeback, but I narrowly pull ahead and take his third stock before he can take my second. We keep alternating between who gets tiny strings going, but eventually I catch his double jump with a weird back air, and it sets up for an easy suicide drill edge guard to
That's
take
a wrap.
it.
Let's go.
That is a wrap. Moky's making his way to grand finals.
I'm stoked.
After going
This whole
with a
time I
reverse-
wanted to run back on Aklo, and I was able to do it in maybe the most satisfying fashion that I could. But that's not the end of the tournament. This whole time, aMSa was sitting pretty in grands just waiting to see who he had to play. I can't really relish in the moment. I have more that I have to do. We start the set off on Battlefield, and it's a scrappy one. It felt like we were both kind of just mashing our faces into each other. I was doing a lot of mix-ups when he was on platforms. I was challenging a lot of his Yoshi tech like ledge eggs and double jump recoveries, and I clawed out a decently close game.
Yeah, aMSa's gonna have to air dodge here.
Yeah, that should be it. Oh, wow, that side B.
Nice.
Game 2, he counterpicks me to Yoshi's story,
Good,
and
good,
it was a lot less close. I was playing very aggressive. I was all over him the whole time. I would smother him until I got a clean hit, and I would take the hits I got very far. I was kind of challenging everything that I could to put the onus on him to execute, which is extremely hard for Yoshi to deal with. I ended up winning this game with 2 stocks. He counterpicks me to FD for game 3, probably just hoping that he can outpunish me here. He started to find some cheeky grabs, and the punish difference did help him. The last stock of this game was close to being maybe the nastiest Yoshi combo I've ever seen in my life, but God decided to bless me with some luck that day, I guess. I have no idea how that down smash is. Game 4, I picked Pokemon Stadium, and this is where I noticed the biggest difference. aMSa started to find his footing. aMSa really started to slow it down compared to the first couple games we played. It was less scrappy, my mix-ups when he was shielding on platforms started to not work as much, as he just never really bit the bait, and it felt like a completely different player. Despite this, I actually started the game off amazingly, but somehow lost it. I think near the end, I got a bit too antsy with trying to kill him, since I wanted the reset really badly, and he was just patient and destroyed me for overextending a lot.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm on the verge of getting reverse 3-0'd, but I can still go back to Pokemon Stadium. I told myself I just need to take my time. I controlled the pace of Game 5 almost perfectly. I was edge guarding good, comboing good, and playing in this really pesky range right outside of what Yoshi can comfortably challenge, and ended it with a nasty ass combo to reset the bracket.
Good for Moky. This is looking very good for Moky. Up tilt. Oh. That might be it. Oh, damn, we got a bracket reset.
I knew going into set 2 that it was going to be way harder than the first one. It was pretty clear that aMSa was figuring stuff out as the set went on, but I knew that if I kept with the same game plan that I had during Game 5, I could definitely pull out the win. We go back to Battlefield to start off set 2, and I start off strong.
Up smash?
But as the game progresses, aMSa claws it back hard in his favor. I was doing a great job with some stuff in this matchup and a so-so job at others. For example, I teched almost every single one of his tech traps and mixed it up well, but I was also getting a bit too confident about beating his double jump armor and got caught for it a lot. Also, fun fact, after this game, I battled to put the cap back on my water bottle, but ultimately lost. Game 2, of course, I go to Pokemon Stadium, but I'm on the back foot the whole time. I felt like I knew the changes I needed to make, but I was having a hard time making them. I'm usually able to win the platform fights versus the Yoshis I play, but aMSa was really waiting to pick his spots to come down, and when he did, I'd more often than not take a lot of damage for it. The game was relatively close, but I fell short again, finding myself down 2-0. I wasn't really too phased about being down 2-0 versus Yoshi. I don't personally think there are any counter picks that are that bad for Fox in this matchup. I just needed to play clean and force myself to be a bit more disciplined when dealing with Yoshi's stuff. We have another tight battle, but this time aMSa is the one on the back foot, and I narrowly win. Game 4, aMSa picks Final Destination, and I think this was kind of a big misplay on his end. The platforms were a big spot that I felt uncomfortable playing around, and even though he beat me on FD the previous set, I was stoked he picked it again because in my head I was just thinking like, I don't really have to try to make the adaptations I need to make because the stage does it for me. aMSa had a couple unfortunate SDs this game, but even without those, I played the matchup fucking stellar, and it gave me a lot of confidence going into Game 10. Game 10 starts on Yoshi's, and I'm messing him up, but I overextend a bit, and he found an insane up air string to kill me really early out of nowhere. He started trying to milk his lead by shielding on the platforms a lot and throwing eggs from the edge, but I kept composure, didn't really force anything until I had a clean opening, and I took that opening for the kill.
Okay. That doesn't kill.
One more. Oh, wow.
There was some
Okay.
goofy Randall shenanigans and a couple silly things, but overall, I think I just played the matchup well. It got down to last stock, and I was putting on a ton of pressure somehow, despite how nervous I feel I should have been. I forced an accidental air dodge out of him, dash attacked it, followed it up with a deep offstage nair that sealed the kill
It's
in
right
G
here!
fucking G's.
Moky wins the combo 2023! Resetting the bracket! Going through Aklo! Going
That's
through half!
crazy.
Woo!